I didn't know what to say to my God and goddess. Then I begged them to grant me my heart's desires. And then, why don't they? And when will I be ready for a soul-shaking relationship? And in the end, I feel desperate. When can I finally have my first soul-shaking relationship? And is it possible? This sounds more like a question than a win, but it is a win that you did the exercise. So congratulations. Okay, and here's another question. So I'm going to read, we're actually moving into questions right now, so I will address this as a question. Okay. I don't really think this is how it works, like God and the goddess are like just sitting around, but like I think it's a really effective way of interacting with the field. I think on a scientific level, it's the vacuum, it's the field. It's literally this feedback loop that vibrationally resonance checks in with our field 1,000,000 times a second, blows my mind, and feeds back that vibration in the form, in matter, in life. That's kind of like the feedback loop that's happening. That's why when I say the universe has your back, it does, because it's listening 1,000,000 times a second. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? What do you want? What do you want? Like it's listening based on only our vibration, only our vibration. So even though we might think in our mind, man or soul-shaking relationship, the universe doesn't really read man, it reads vibration. So if you go to the next level of, oh, and what would that man make me feel? Contentment, joy, connection. Okay, good. Now feel that contentment, joy. And what's that like? Oh, yummy, bliss, oneness. Okay, so now you're feeling what it is to have the man, and you've got a picture in your mind's eye, and then the universe is going to be able to match that vibration, and you're the one in charge. It's like co-creating. It's not just one way sitting here like a duck. Like you're still co-creating. So you're putting it out into form on this dimension, third dimension, and the vibration of that is being fed back 1,000,000 times a second from the universe. So the science is happening, the feedback loop is happening, and you begin to receive that. But it really comes down to the feeling of having like it's already done, which when you open your eyes on a planet and he hasn't shown up yet is challenging, right? So that's why your inner world, the unseen, needs to become more real than the open eye, what you see. Right? And that's why asking questions like, what would it take to change this? What would it take to have that? What would it take? But this sort of unattached place from this place of fullness. So as you were saying here, you begged them. Well, so that would lead me to believe you're being like, you're feeling like a victim. You're feeling like you don't have any power, and you're having to plead and having to beg. That pleading, begging vibration just went way super down. And they might be like, well, we'd love to give you that, but we can't because your vibration is super, super low. You need to come all the way up into gratitude for having, and sit with us, spooned, by the God and the goddess of like gratitude for having it. And that's the vibration that we can provide it. But if you go down into begging or desperation, it's like, oh, we'd love to give that to you, but we can't because it's just not a vibrational match. All we can give you is more desperation. And they don't want to. The feedback loop doesn't want to give you that, but it's free will. It doesn't have a choice. So it's going to give you more of that. So your job is to not see God and the goddess as superior and you're inferior. It's like, what would it take for us to be homies? Like buddies, like same level, like where's my scotch and cigars? Let's hang out and talk about this. Like what is it going to take for me to be my own God and goddess? To acknowledge God and the goddess is on the same level of me, to acknowledge my power, like in me, as me, through me, so God and the goddess are over there, but the energy is also, I am God and the goddess. So thank you, oneness. I am oneness. It's this simultaneous living. So that would be my recommendation to shift these feelings, is not to get angry at them, like, or plead with them. Like, why haven't I, kind of like whining, right? Why haven't I? Just go, okay, so let's talk. Okay, I got my scotch and cigars. We're sitting around, good music. Okay, we're hanging out. Okay, so tell me more. Tell me more that I need to learn, grow, evolve, shift my perspective, shift my point of view so that I can have this, like have like a mature conversation as a beautiful goddess, sitting with God and the goddess, going, okay, so tell me what I'm not seeing. What is it that I've never considered? What is it that I need to let go of? What is it that I need to step into? What new perspective could I take on? What shift in vibration could I embrace? You know, ask these questions. You could do it with journaling. You could just do it in your mind's eye. You could go for a walk in nature. But like God and the goddess are not these superior things we need to plead to because we don't have the power. It's like, no, step the fuck up and just, this is what I'm having. What's it going to take? You can be feisty. Fierce love is fine, right? But we don't want to go into blame or self-judgment. Feisty's fine. Like, okay, well, how are we going to do this? Like, put on your thigh-high black patent boots if you need to. Like, whatever visualization you need to be on par with God and the goddess. And that's why this exercise is so powerful. Because when I first did it, I couldn't look them in the eye. I was so ashamed. And then when I started to look them in the eye, I was pissed. I had to go through all these different phases until I could actually go, okay, you're right. I've been a total victim. You're totally right. Okay, I get it. I own it. I won't blame myself. Okay, let's fucking do this. And then now they're like my homies and I'm on a much different level with them. But I had to go through every step myself too, my love. So don't give up. That's what it's here for. That's why you have lifetime access to all of this content, because I believe you're going to find the DNA spiral. You're going to bump up against that same lesson. I don't know, 3 months from now, you're going to be like, oh, it's time to talk to God and the goddess again. Or, oh, I really need to like be with little me today. Or, oh, this person's going in the theater, right? Like you've got all these tools for the rest of your life that are really, really supportive in moving the energy, not just thinking about it. That doesn't do any good. Everybody can just read a book, but like really move the energy through. So congratulations on that.